This is my journal entry for today and my rambling thoughts for, was it March 18th, 2026? Yesterday was St. Patty's Day. Mom was here. I would have had a green beer with her probably. She loved St. Patrick's Day and all things Irish. Anyway, so I haven't been to the hairdresser probably for 10 years, probably. About 10 years, I always do my own hair these days because living out here, one of the drawbacks is it's kind of a long drive into a hairdresser. Got to go probably 45 or 60 miles to get to a hairdresser, and it doesn't always work with my work schedule since I work all week long. So haven't gone to a hairdresser, do my own. And I kind of like how it turns out when I cut it myself anyways. But did my own hair, got up this morning and I colored my gray, gave myself a little foot spa. So, yeah, Saturday was a hair cutting day for my husband, gave him a haircut and spiffed him up. But so this is where my thoughts kind of ramble. I had stumbled upon a little short video yesterday, probably on Facebook. It was a guy, and I know he probably totally well intentioned, but he said something on the lines of, your wife takes care of you. She folds your laundry. She makes sure that you have meals cooked, your house is clean, takes care of the kids, all this stuff. Your wife takes care of you. Who takes care of your wife? Who takes care of her? And it kind of, I know the target audience was men, but it reached more women than it did men. And so if you were to read the comments, it was a lot of women saying, well, nobody takes care of me, I take care of myself, and kind of got the pity party thing going, and it got my pity party going. And I'm really good at having my internal pity party, probably like a lot of people. And I got to thinking, yeah, I fold my husband's laundry. He hasn't done a load of laundry in a long time. I have to even cut my own hair. I mean, that's just, he has somebody to cut his hair. I don't even have anybody to cut my hair. I cook the food, majority of the time. I keep the house clean, and pity party, pity party. And then I got to thinking, well, that's dumb because he goes to work an hour and a half before I do, and he gets home 2 hours after I get home from work. So it makes sense that I do the laundry. I do my husband's laundry. I put it away, because I'm sure he hasn't probably put away his own clothes for, the entire time we've been married. I cook 90% of the meals and whatnot. But so, you know, who takes care of me? Well, every night after supper, either he or my daughter wash the dishes for me, because dishwasher's broken, and hand washing dishes chaps my hands, so they wash the dishes. So that's taking care of me. He changes the oil in my car, changes my flat tires, any car maintenance, that's taking care of me. He cuts and splits all of our firewood, carries in most of it, so that's taking care of me. Plows the snow. I never have to get in a tractor to feed the cows, so that's taking care of me. All these things that we end up having these pity parties for ourselves, and it's really ridiculous. And I do it. And the sad thing is that social media is geared to hit our emotions, hit us in the feels. But the sad thing is, it makes us feel things that aren't true. And I think, coming from a Christian perspective, that's a tool of Satan for sure, to deceive us into feeling bad about the people that we share our lives with, to think that they're not treating us correct the way we think they should be treating us. Um, and it's just really sad, you know. We are taught, just through social media and interactions with people, to believe that service is somehow a bad thing, especially service in our own homes. If we're serving people in our own homes, that we're somehow being mistreated. I mean, not to say that there aren't some people who use that to take advantage and to abuse, because there are people out there, who treat their spouse and their children like doormats. That's a real thing. I've experienced that myself too. But really, service should begin in the home. We should willingly get our spouse a cup of coffee and not expect a cup of coffee in return. We should be able to, fold the clothes and put them away and not feel like, well, they're not doing the same thing for me, you know? Um, and I don't know. It's just something I was thinking about today, and I'm really kind of ashamed of my little pity party. Um, but I guess that's where honest talk comes in, because I know I'm not the only one who does that to myself. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with serving someone. And I think we've lost that as a people. Sometimes we think that service is a noble act if we do it outside the home, but it really needs to start inside the home. And we need to be teaching that to our kids too, that there's, do the dishes for the family, uh, sweep the floor for the family. You're not always doing things just for yourself. We're a very selfish generation. And I know I'm as selfish as the next person, but just something I was thinking about. And it started with a haircut. But honestly, I like cutting my own hair. I like coloring my own hair, because if it doesn't turn out right, I have nobody to blame but myself, because I know I've been to a lot of hairdressers that have come back feeling disappointed. Um, Saves time, saves money, and I think it doesn't look too bad. But anyway, that's my rambling, honest chat for my journal entry today.